Welcome to Cell Simplified. Today I want to show you how to use the trim formula. But first, let's take a look at why we may want to use the trim formula. I'm not going to go into details about how to create a pivot table, but we're going to quickly create a pivot table on this list of employees. We'll get a count of employees by their primary office city. And we can see here that our cities are listed multiple times. And so if we double click to open up a subset of this data, we can see here by clicking into the formula bar and using our arrow keys to move around that we in fact have some extra spaces in these data sets. Again, double clicking to open the data sets, selecting one of the affected cells, and then we don't have a space at the front in this case, but we do have two spaces here in the middle, and then no extra spaces at the end. But Excel is very picky, and if you have extra spaces in a value, even though it may look the same to us, especially like in this case, or here with the word Nashville, and I think maybe one of these Nashvilles, let's look at the lower one here. If we select it, then we can see, okay, we have an extra space at the end of the word Nashville, whereas the other set of Nashville values does not have an extra space at the end. And so we need to remove those spaces from the beginning and the end of our values. And also in the case of this Mount Pleasant here, we need to remove the duplicate spaces so that we only have one space in between our words. And that's what the trim formula will do for us. So let's come back to our Employee Information tab. We'll click here into column I in cell I2 and type equals trim, open parenthesis. Now we'll select D2, or we could just type D2 in. We'll close parenthesis and hit enter to calculate. And then we'll go ahead and select this cell I2 where we have our formula, move our mouse over the lower right hand corner, click with the left mouse button, drag down to fill our formula downwards, and release. And now we have our cleaned up or trimmed values. So now we're going to copy and paste these values over the original values, and we will select here paste values only, not the formula. And then we'll get rid of this new column and come back to our pivot table. And now we're going to right click and refresh to update our pivot table. And now we can see that we only have our cities listed once. We don't have any duplicates like we did before because of the duplicate spaces. So I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe, comment down below if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover. Thanks.